Hello, dear students. How are you? Today's lesson is the present simple tense, and we're gonna first talk about the usage when we are using the present simple. Number one, if we are talking about daily routine, something I do every day. Like, for example, she drinks coffee every morning. Okay, so it's a daily routine. Number two, if we are talking about a fact, like, okay, facts, of course, we can never change the fact. Like, for example, the sun rises in the east. Can we change this? Never. So we are using the present simple with facts. Also, we are using it, the present simple, with future meaning. If the sentence had a future meaning. Like, for example, the film starts at 10 o'clock. So here we have a future meaning. Also, if we are talking or if we use the permanent states, like, for example, my father works in a hospital. So this is a permanent state or a temporary. So it's permanent states, okay, or a permanent state. Also, let's go ahead for the form. With I, you, they, we. What we're gonna use? Yes, perfect. The infinitive or the clean verb, the verb without adding anything to it. But with he or she or it, what we're gonna use? S. We're gonna add to the verb s or es or ies. And we will talk in details later when we are using s or es or ies. Okay, for example, here, he, so I'm gonna say he likes pizza. But if I'm gonna say yeah, I will not add anything to the verb. So I'm gonna say I like pizza. Okay, she washes her face. Yeah, I added es. But with they, I will not add anything. So they wash their faces. Okay, if we have y, so we're gonna add to the verb ies, and we will talk about this in details. It cries, so I changed the y into ies. But with we, I will put the clean verb without adding anything. So we cry. Let's go ahead in order to talk about the s, es, ies in details. In the ordinary, with a verb with he or she or it, so I'm gonna add s. She cooks. He, for example, he eats. Okay, so I added only s. But when I'm adding es, I'm adding es if the verb ends with o, x, okay, with sh, ch, s, double s, x, and o. Okay, if the verb ends with one of these letters, with he and she and it, I'm gonna add es to the verb. Okay, so what about the y? If the verb ends with y, look before the y. If we have a vowel plus y, so I will add only s. Okay, but with he and she and it, like play, plays, we have vowel plus y. But if we have a consonant plus y, so I will cancel the y and add ies. Okay, and this is with he and she and it only. So cry, cries, fly, flies. So if there is a consonant before the y, so we change the y to ies with he and she and it. Okay, let's go ahead. What are the keywords? If these are the keywords, if I saw one of them, or the usage, of course, as we said in the beginning, I'm gonna use the present simple twice a week, always at the end or at the weekend, sorry, never, often, every, on Mondays, sometimes, in the morning, usually. These are the keywords. If I saw one of them, so I mean, or I will use the present simple. Let's go ahead for the next. Here, some examples for the verbs that ends with these letters in order to add es with he and she and it. With wash, what shall I add, s or es? Yes, excellent, es. So it's going to be washes. Watch, watches. Pass, passes. So I added es. Go, goes. So the verb ends with o. With he and she and it, I'm going to add es. Fix, fixes. Do, does. And all of this with he and she and it only. But with you and we and they and I will put clean verb. The negative form, if the verb has s or es or ies. Okay. In the negative form, number one, I'm gonna use do or does. Sorry, don't and doesn't. Okay, do or does, and I'm gonna add not. So don't or doesn't. Okay? So I'm gonna use doesn't with he and she and it. And of course the verb is gonna have s or es or ies. So I'm gonna cancel. In the negative, I'm gonna cancel the s or es or ies. I'm gonna put only doesn't plus the infinitive. The infinitive means the clean verb, the verb without adding anything to it. Also with they, we, you, or I mean the plural or I, so I'm gonna use don't plus the infinitive as well. So in the example, he doesn't like pizza, okay? And here they don't like pizza. So I used here doesn't with he, and I used here don't with they. Let's go ahead for some more examples. He plays football every day. So we have the question form here. Do we have yes or no in the beginning? Yeah. No, we don't have yes or no in the beginning. If you don't have yes or no in the beginning, so it is WH question. So we're gonna use WH question word. So he plays football. So maybe I'm gonna ask about football. So I'm gonna choose one of the WH question words. So I'm gonna use, for example, what? Okay. After what? Put you're gonna put do or does, the auxiliary verb. So what? Because of he, I'm gonna say what does he. What shall I say after that? Play or plays? Yeah, in the question, we're gonna put the verb in infinitive as well, like the negative. Okay, so I'm gonna say, what does he play every day? And of course, I'm gonna cancel football because I asked about it. Look here, what does he play? Mo Salah plays in Liverpool. I'm gonna ask about Liverpool. It's a place, so I'm gonna ask with where. After where, do or does. What do we have here? Mo Salah, so it's gonna be do or does. Because the subject is singular, I'm gonna say does. Where does Mo Salah play or plays? Excellent, it's gonna be play, because in the question I'm gonna add the infinitive form in present simple. Where does Mo Salah play? Let's go ahead for the yes or no question. What's the difference between WH question and yes or no question? We have in the beginning of the answer, yes or no. If I have yes or no, I mean this is in the yes or no question. And in this case, I'm gonna start with do or does. Do or does. Okay. So for example here, yes, I like pizza. I'm gonna say do or does. I should be changed in the question into you. So, do you like pizza? Look here. Do you? And then like the infinitive and then pizza. Okay. No, she doesn't play football. I'm gonna cancel no. I'm gonna cancel as well not. I will start because it is yes or no question. I will start with does she play football? Does she play football? Excellent. So do or does in the yes or no question start with do or does plus subject plus verb in infinitive. Okay. That's all regarding the rule or the explanation. Let's go ahead in order to apply all of this. We're gonna have some exercises to answer together. As we have here, guys, do as shown between brackets. Number one, the Earth go round the sun. Yeah. So the Earth, it is what? Singular or plural? Singular. Okay, so I'm gonna add S-E-S-I-E-S. It's a fact, by the way. Okay, so I'm gonna use the present simple. So the Earth goes round the sun. What shall I add, S or ES? Excellent, because the verb ends with O, so I'm gonna add ES. So the Earth goes round the sun. Let's take another example. Number 4, I, and I have between brackets work. Here also I have the same. But this time I'm gonna use it. Both of them, by the way, yeah, they are kind of permanent statements. So I'm gonna use the present simple. But this time I'm gonna underline I, underline Barry. In the first one, I'm gonna use work. I work. Shall I add anything? No. I work. Okay? I'm gonna use clean verb. But with he and she and it, I'm adding S-E-S, I-E-S. Barry work. Work or works? Yes, works. I'm gonna add S. Understand? So with he and she and it only, we are adding S-E-S, I-E-S according to the verb. We don't have Y, we don't have the other letters O, X, S, H, C, H, double S. So I will add only S. It's regular, it is just ordinary regular verb. Okay, let's go ahead for negative. Mom fries potatoes for dinner. What shall I say? Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna say mom. I'm gonna use don't or doesn't. Because of mom, I'm gonna say what? Doesn't. And what about fries? Yeah, I will cancel the IES and get back or go back to Y. So mom doesn't fry potatoes for dinner. Here as well, Tom usually play tennis twice a week. Correct the verb. Tom usually. Yeah. What do we have before the Y? If you have Y, look before the Y. We have a vowel. Shall I cancel the Y and add IES? No. If it's a vowel, not a consonant. If it is a vowel and then Y, I will only add S. So I'm gonna say plays. So Tom usually plays. Okay. Let's ask a question. Let's search for. Okay. We have here, Hannah sleeps at 9 every day. So I'm gonna ask about at 9 with when. Yes, it's a time. It's time, I mean. So when, do or does. After when, we're gonna have the auxiliary verb, do or does. So because of Hannah, I will use does. When does Hannah? What about the S here? Cancel S in the question. Cancel S in the question. So when does Hannah sleep every day? When does Hannah sleep every day? Every day. And don't forget the question mark. Okay. So that's all, guys, for the present simple today. I want you to practice a lot, to answer a lot of questions in order to make sure that you understand well. Thank you, and have a nice day.